Is your business protected against the threat of malicious litigation and frivolous lawsuits? Are you sinking company profits into marketing campaigns that do nothing to contribute to the growth of your business? Bottled Business Sense provides practical business perspectives that uniquely emphasize both legal and media marketing strategies to protect and ensure the longevity of your business. And whether you're trying to provide a startup business with some level of stability or an established business with foolproof asset and estate protection, or simply attempting to get a better return for your business marketing dollars, Bill Bernard and Rick Moscoso will expose potential pitfalls to ensure the security and growth of your business, free from unwanted expense and the threat of litigation. You'll learn how to implement marketing and protection tools equal to those used by today's most successful corporations. Let's join Bill and Rick for today's Bottled Business Sense show.
All right, welcome everybody to this episode of the Bottled Business Sense show. I'm Rick Moscoso, one of your co-hosts. We're broadcasting here in Southern California, and we also have my co-host who's in a special, exclusive, secret location in Kauai, Bill Bernard, who's broadcasting from our studio over there. Let's bring Bill on. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rick. Here in our studios in Kauai, and yes, we do work over here. Despite what some people may think, we're here. We're pleased to be here for another edition of the Bottle Business Sense show. And I know I speak for Rick when I say that we are pleased and privileged to have as a guest today on the show Ms. Sharon Masler of Masler and Associates. She is an accountant, and as you've heard us say a number of times in the show, you got to have those, if you will, three musketeers on your team when you start a business, and that's an attorney, an accountant, and a marketing guru. So we're pleased to have Sharon here today. How are you, Sharon? How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you both, Rick and Bill, for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
We're just pleased as heck to have you here. You know, Sharon's been a proactive accountant, always looking for ways to help clients lower taxes and more importantly understand the financial aspects of their business by helping them with accounting needs all during the year. You know, your business is unique, isn't it, Sharon? Because it's really not one of these large conglomerates that can't pay attention to their clients, right?
That's right, Bill. We are a boutique firm. I would call ourselves a boutique firm, a small firm in Orange County, family-owned, where we really pay attention to customer service. That's the way we get clients. When clients don't get attention from their accountants or their professionals, they come to us, and I think we do a pretty good job taking care of them.
Good. I mean, you know, that's kind of similar to the way my law office operates. I'm more of a boutique office, and I really enjoy that because I think you can get more attention to your clients. How did you, tell us a little bit about how you got into the business, Sharon?
Okay. Well, I have been an accountant for about 18 years now, and, you know, I've been doing accounting, audit, and tax work. And 6 years ago, my father-in-law told me, say, hey, I really dreamt of a family business. Would you like to do that with me? And I jumped on the wagon and I said, let's do it. And since then, it's been a great success and a great journey for us.
You know, I was thinking about before you came on the show about a week ago. I was thinking about the fact that small business owners oftentimes seem to put aside, the important aspects of financial planning and tax planning until the very last minute. And my interactions with your business has always indicated to me that you try to plan out these things with your clients during the course of the year, so they have some future perspective at what the outcome might look like come time to file their tax returns. How do you go about doing that, Sharon? How do you keep your clients on board and make them understand that this is an all year round process and not just a end of the year thing?
Well, yeah, let's face it. Small business owners have a lot on their plates, which means that you put accounting, bookkeeping, and taxes on the back seat so you can focus on more pressing issues. But virtually, small business owners understand the importance of having solid financial information to make sound business decisions. So what we do is we keep in touch with the clients throughout the year. It's very important to be in touch with a client. Many times during the year, you want to touch them in order for them to communicate with you what's going on with the business and how you can help them, and go from there. Because otherwise, it would be too tough to help the clients when you're doing things last minute.
I know Rick and I talked about a number of times what we do, how we go through, what process we entertain when we meet with a client. When somebody comes into your office, okay, we've got a small business owner, Sharon, and he's kind of lost, if you will. He says, I really need to get a handle on my tax situation. Or maybe you have somebody come in your office who says to you, I'm really dissatisfied with the last person I've been working with. I really need a new accountant. Can you give us an example of kind of what kind of an interview or a process you might go through to try to help a client like that, Sharon?
Sure. We meet with a lot of new small business owners all the time, and part of the services that we offer is we provide business startup consulting. So it includes choice of entity type if they're setting up an entity with an attorney. Just explaining to them the tax ramifications of each choice of entity. We help them with software selection if they're going to use some kind of software for accounting. We provide training. We provide accounting and bookkeeping training. We help them register with the taxing authorities, and host a lot of issues and concerns that may have while they're setting up their business. Because it's let's face it, it's daunting starting a new business, more so tackling something that you're not familiar with. So that's where we come in, and we help them get set up. We talk to them, what are the first steps, and then move on.
I have a question for Sharon. So how is the tax software that you provide to them different from the DIY guy who's maybe using Quickbooks or using Quicken or something like that?
Okay, so with the tax software, we have a robust tax software that we use. People who are very simple tax situations can use simple tax softwares and do it themselves. The thing though is in order for you to understand certain benefits that you can take on your tax returns, you need to understand the tax laws. And so that's where we come in. That's where your professionals come in to help you, get most of, the tax benefits and lower your tax liability that way. It's not much of more than software, because the software is a tool. It's the talent and the knowledge that someone has who can help you with your taxes.
One of the things that I was impressed with when I first learned about your business, Sharon, was not only is this a boutique firm that really pays attention to their clients, but what's even more unique is you have, if I'm correct, on staff people that are very experienced in using QuickBooks. So if somebody needs somebody to do their books for their business, which of course it has to be done every year, you actually can provide on your staff somebody who can do their accounting for them during the year and use QuickBooks, right?
That's correct, Bill. And yeah, because of their experience and the training that they've got, you can see, sometimes when you're doing your own accounting and you're stuck, you want to just pick up a phone and ask a quick question, and you can see that we're very responsive. We help you there right away, and so you can move on. Otherwise, for some business owners who really just want to focus on growing the business and leave the accounting, bookkeeping, and taxes on the side, or give it to someone else, we're there to help as well. So you have those options. So whatever works for the small business owners is what we're there for.
Now just so we're totally upfront with our audience, Sharon, you at times, just because you deal with small business owners, doesn't mean you won't take on, if called upon to do so, a fairly decent sized corporation or somebody who's been established in business for years. You're able to help those business owners who really have been in business for a while but really don't know what all of their advantages might be, right? So it's that's also out there for you guys.
Certainly, yeah. I think you're probably referring to more like a concierge controllership help. For some business owners who have been doing things a certain manner all these years, and then they suddenly said, are we doing this right? Or maybe we can have a consultant come in here and see what we're doing and see how we can improve the process, or maximize on certain things with our business. And yes, we definitely do that. We would come and help you out.
And although you are located here in Southern California, that doesn't mean you're limited to clients here in Southern California. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, we have clients all over the country, and a lot of our clients we meet because it's good to meet with clients as much as you can. But we have clients all over the country who cannot come and meet with us, so they mail their stuff in. We connect remotely, via the technology. Yeah.
Okay. Before we, I've got a whole array of questions here for you, Sharon. You're going to be grilled today. I hope you...
I'm ready, Bill. Bring it on.
Before we get to that, I want to do a quick commercial break. I want to talk to everybody in our audience about Strider watches. And Rick and I have spoken about this great individual watch company and its owner on a couple of occasions now. And we're talking about a guy by the name of Jim Skelton, who in partnership with Wing Liang, Wing is the owner of Android watches, a very established brand, and Jim and Wing got together and made Jim's dream come true and developed Strider watches, and that's STRIDER, StriderWatches.com. And Jim has put out a watch called the Hyperdive, HYPERDIVE. Let me just tell you, we're advertising for this company because we believe in this company. And I would be less than truthful if I didn't tell you I was a watch buff. I have a few here.
Beautiful statement.
But I got to tell you one thing, and I'm going to give you a quick list. 46 millimeter stainless steel case, 316L stainless steel, hand assembled in the United States. A Miyota 9015 automatic movement, one of the premier movements that the Japanese make today. Just a tremendous movement, rivals Swiss movements. Numbered limited edition of 500 total watches. Extreme amounts of Swiss Super Luminova, okay? On the watch, and a sapphire crystal and a multi-link bracelet. If you've jotted down those things, go to your favorite search engine, Google that, and see what you're going to pay. And then go to StriderWatches.com and see what you're going to pay. This is a quality watch made by a quality individual, and it's made here in the United States, and that's why I believe in it. So when you get a chance, if you're looking for a great timepiece, remember anybody can look at the time on their handheld device, but to create the symphony of time on your wrist, you really got to have a great timepiece. So go to that watch site, StriderWatches.com. Give it a look, and let me know, if you will, what you think. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah,
StriderWatches.com.
Folks, I would have to say that I'm just a beginner as far as learning about watches. Bill has more knowledge than probably all of us combined about watches and timepieces and all the little intricacies and things a watch collector needs to know. So he has a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of insight on the good quality watches. So when he says take a look at Strider watches, it's really worth your time.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, take a look at that, folks. I think you won't be disappointed. Okay, let's get back to our great guest. And Sharon, we've been talking about how you help small business owners in terms of not only preparing their returns, but actually showing them ways to avoid tax liability. Before I move into some other topics, I'd like to kind of just touch upon quickly. Can you give me some examples, Sharon, of how you might, practically speaking, show a small business owner how they might avoid additional tax liability? What are some of the steps you might go through?
Oh, yes, Bill. So when you have good, solid financial foundation, when you have, someone or you are taking care of your financials by making sure things are reconciled, you're not double counting, income on your books, that's already one way of saving on tax liability. Just imagine if you had put in, revenues 2 times when when it really is supposed to be 1 time. Without reconciliation, which accounting, where accounting comes in, then you're going to miss that, and by doing so, you're going to owe more taxes. That's one area. So having proper, good documentation, reconciliation of accounts is key. Another thing is, thinking about setting up a good retirement plan, depending on what kind of entity you are set up. There's so many vehicles that you can go to for retirement planning, and this is one of those great benefits that we have, is to put money into a retirement plan, and therefore reducing tax liability that way. So these are just a few things that you can suggest when I meet with clients. I give them more input, like for example, buying assets before the year ends. Certain tax advantages are available there also.
That's fantastic. And I think you mentioned to me a couple of times, Sharon, that you really have to really solidify this and make sure that all of these tax issues are covered. I think you said you usually have 5 best practice tips that you offer small business owners, right?
Yes, so a lot of small businesses survive with the quality of service that they provide to clients and customers. So I believe being proactive, showing that you care, with your customers, is really key. Because customers will feel that, and they will feel the importance of having someone like you on their side. Another thing is be responsive. Responsiveness, I see, has been one of the things that, one of the qualities that a business owner should have for him or her to stand out, against his or her competitors. Another thing is be sincere, be truthful, be honest in your dealings, and that, it will come back to you the same way. Another thing is be professional. When you deal with clients and customers, always, deal with them with professionalism, because it goes a long way. And lastly is, I believe in respect. Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. So be respectful, with one another. I think that will make a difference too.
That's so true. And I've often said that if you follow the procedures that are laid out for you by your attorney, by your accountant, if you market your business correctly, based on the marketing person you're doing business with, everything is going to fall into place, and you won't need to have to try to find ways to let me be blunt, cheat the government, right? I mean, people have to understand that there are professional and proper ways of doing things, and if they do what their trusted counsel and their accountant and their marketing individual tells them to do, they're going to be just fine. And I think that really emphasizes those points that you made, Sharon, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. Having good professionals around you, as a business owner, you surround yourself with people you trust who can give you good, solid advice to, help you grow your business, and who are sincerely there to help you improve and, hopefully make more money. So that I think is essential.
Do you find that you have a fair percentage of people who come to you that are in trouble with the IRS? All of a sudden they get issued some kind of letter, and then it's like now they don't know what the heck to do, and then now they come to you and you have to deal with that. So how much of your business do you what percentage of your clients do you experience that type of situation? Mm-hmm. And I'm interested, after you help them, do they end up being a long-term client for you?
Yes, definitely. So I would say maybe 10-15% of our clientele first come to us with problems. Some of them would come in with boxes of notices that they're too afraid to open, the envelopes, they're just too scared to see what's in the envelopes. So I come in, I sort things out for them. I, help them, get through, explaining what these notices are for and how they can be dealt with. and then we go from there. A lot of times people think that if I just ignore it, it will go away. It does not. It only gets worse. So when I have an individual who is in trouble, I think it's important either to tackle it directly and immediately, or come to a professional and have that person help you. We help with penalty abatement as well. If there's penalties that are involved on those notices that they received, we help them out with that, and basically just put them right on track. Some clients would not have filed their returns for many years, and we get them caught up, and we make sure we stay on top of them and that they're current, they're forward.
And that brings up a point too. Rick that's amazing, because Rick read my mind. I was really going to get. Yeah, he's something else. He impresses me more all the time. I was going to go into this IRS issue, and I have a couple of things I wanted to follow up on with regard to that, Sharon. The first point I want to make is. There are many times, are there not, Sharon, that people are going to have to appear before the IRS through, I want to say, for lack of a better phrase, no fault of their own, not because they did something wrong, but because they're going to be audited, correct?
That's correct, yes. The IRS is the process when they audit taxpayers. So, it's the system that they have for, some of them are random. Some of them, are being flagged for certain items. So yes, there are situations where, the taxpayers have to face the IRS. But the beauty of it is, you've got a professional who can represent you. You don't have to go in and represent yourself. You can have someone like us help you out with that, and we can definitely do that.
And I know you and your partner, we haven't talked about him, but Stephen Masler. I know that you and he have represented many clients before the IRS before, right?
Yes, yeah. One of our success stories was we had one client who came to us because his CPA went missing in action. He got this notice that he owed $40,000. He said, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do?" And because, we live in a world of technology, he Googled us, he found us, and he came in and he said, "Can you represent me? I don't know what to do." And sure enough, we did. And we, there's some certain things that, should have been reported that were not, and we came clean and helped the client out. But also the prior accountant had reported income when it was an investment, so we were able to fight through the IRS or support the fact that particular amount that was reported as income is not supposed to be income but an investment. In the end, the end results of the audit, the client walked away with a $5,000 refund from the IRS instead of
That's
owing money.
amazing.
So I think that's one of our success stories there.
Well, I would certainly say so.
That's when he said, "I was glad I was audited." Nobody says that.
Well, Sharon, I think what's really, you and I and Rick have talked about this before, and when I mention this, you'll recall when and where. But I think it's very, very important for our viewers and our listeners. Could you tell us, Sharon, because somebody gets a letter from the IRS and boy, panic sets in. What do you recommend? What are the steps that they should take? What do you say to them when they get this letter to avoid all of the panic or to quell the panic that they might be feeling?
The first thing that that person should do is, after reading that notice, is either contact a professional or contact the IRS directly, because there's no better way than taking care of the situation than ignoring it. So I suggest that when you see a notice and you think you understood what it's supposed to mean and how it's supposed to be taken care of, the communication is key. And one thing I want to point out, just for viewers out there, or for listeners out there, there has been a lot of scams going on right now with the IRS. Some taxpayers get calls saying they are from the IRS, that they're being sued by the IRS, etc. First of all, I want to make it clear that the IRS does not contact you by phone or email. you will get a correspondence in the mail, snail mail, about certain issues with your taxes. So always keep that in mind. When you get a phone call, you know, of that, you know, if the example I gave you, call the IRS and report the issue right away, because that is not a legitimate call. That is a scam.
So in other words, don't take the attitude of sweep it under the rug, it'll go away, or, you know, gosh, this is a mistake. Address it up front. Be up front about it, right?
Certainly.
I know that over the course of the years that we've known each other, you have really not only taken a proactive role in the business with your partner, but you really seem to have a hands-on grasp as to what's going on in that office. I know when I've been there, I've been impressed by that. But as if we haven't covered enough information already, I also want to bring up to the viewers and listeners that you guys would also be involved in estate planning issues in terms of making sure that estate returns are filed, and that's kind of unique. Not everybody does that, right, Sharon?
Yes, yes, we do, Bill. I think it all boils down to me wanting to help other people. And once you have that, you know, basic foundation in you, everything else like falls into place, into the right place. So yes, we help. One of the things that we do for taxpayers is definitely for them to be compliant, because there's nothing worse than ignoring, you know, matters, and then in the end they go out of hand. So yes, we help clients with their gift tax returns, estate tax returns, and other business and individual returns.
Sure, and for our viewers and listeners that don't know, depending on the value of your estate, you have to pay a death tax, or also known as an estate tax, or your estate does, not you, obviously. And of course, if you give gifts during the year up to a certain amount, which I believe is $14.5 thousand per year now, according to the new law, you are okay. But if you give gifts over that, then of course you're going to have to pay a tax on that. Sharon will file a gift tax return on your behalf. So there's all kind of these intricacies work hand in hand. Again, we always emphasize on this show that small business owners need to have their crew on board, their professionals on board to help them along the way. You know, before we get near to closing the show, and I have a couple of final questions for Sharon, I wanted to find out if Rick had any final thoughts for Sharon.
I had a chance to hear her speak in different forums, and so in fact we did some production work with her some time ago.
Yes.
Because they wanted a fresh new look in the office, and you know, a lot of it can be challenging sometimes as a brand, as a CPA brand, right?
Yes.
To portray yourself as a friendly, a warm, a family type of team out there, and so you know we shot some video, we did some professional photography for these guys, and I know they just redid their whole website to attract new clientele, and I think that's worked very well for you, right?
Very, very well. No, I have to say, Rick, when people come to our website, they see the sincerity of the website. The video that you created for us really helped promote our business, but in a very sincere way, which we really want to come across as someone who's there to help you, not to intimidate you.
Right.
Because some professionals could just, you know, overwhelm you with information that you just goes above over your head, right? So, but no, we've sent the message across. The photos were excellent, and I think every business owner should have a presence on the internet via website and their professional photos of their team and videos.
Yeah, great.
You know, I wanted to mention real quickly as well that we've been focusing on the small business owner, but I want to mention, of course, that Sharon also does individual personalized tax returns, and you know, I want to make sure we get that out there. Sharon works with small business owners, and but is always there for the individual, and of course, the individual with some of the entities that are established today in this pass-through income. Obviously, it goes hand in hand, Sharon, doesn't it, to prepare both the entity return and the individual return?
Yes, that's correct, Bill. Yes, so thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, we our topic today is really focused on small business owners, but definitely we help individuals with their personal tax returns as well, and those who have passed through income from other investments or other entities. And yes, we can certainly do those returns.
And real quick before we leave that topic, Sharon, and close the show, I had done a show previously where I talked about different entities, and we discussed the pass-through income. And of course, could you just touch upon a couple of the entities for our viewers and listeners that have that unique feature?
Sure. A couple of the entities that have pass-through income, first of all, is an S corporation and a partnership. These are pass-through entities, which means whatever income you have on a partnership or an S corporation flows through your personal tax returns and is taxed to you individually. Something to keep that in mind. Well, a C corporation, everything stays on the C corporation. Nothing gets flown through the individuals. But those are, the basic corporate entities that have flowed through taxation.
And are there any advantages, Sharon, to having an entity that has the pass-through feature? And that's the beauty about working in hand with an accountant and an attorney, folks, to be able to get the asset protection that you need from your structure and the tax advantages that you're going to be made aware of in conjunction with working with your accountant. And of course, then Rick takes it from there with his unique media skills and builds your business. So again, that's what this show's all about, to make this thing come together and give you a good, solid picture of why and how you should have a structure, and why you should have the people on board that are going to allow that structure to profit. Before we end the show, Sharon, would you give our viewers and listeners, please, a full-fledged idea of how they can get a hold of you and what they should do if they're interested in meeting with you?
Okay, thank you for this opportunity, Rick and Bill. So we are Masler and Associates. We are a small CPA firm in Irvine. Our address is 1 Jenner, Suite 230, Irvine, California, 92618. Phone number is 949-857-0404. And please feel free to visit our website at maslercpa.com. So thank you for this opportunity, and I had fun.
Well, listen, thank you. Rick and I are absolutely pleased to have you. We think a lot of you and your business, and it's been a very unique opportunity for our listeners and viewers to come here and be able to get a bird's eye view of exactly not only what you do, but how you can help them. And that's really, again, what this show's all about. So we thank you immensely, Sharon. Please, folks, take advantage of this. Give Sharon a call, meet with her and/or her partner, Steve, and I can tell you won't be sorry. It'll be a great experience, and you'll leave there with a tremendous amount of confidence and moving your business forward. So please take advantage of that. Sharon, thanks again, and Rick, thanks for this remote setup from our studios here in Hawaii. It's a little rainy here today, but I think I'll do my day's work and then maybe squeeze out a little R&R.
Yeah, there you go, Bill. I wish we were over in our Hawaii location instead of here. It's a little warm here, but we're plugging through it. Folks, again, we appreciate Sharon being here as our guest, and her contact information is going to be located below this video. So by all means, if you have any questions, feel free to contact her at any time, and she'll respond to you right away.
And in the meantime, thank you everyone for tuning in and taking advantage of this opportunity. I know it was probably helpful for you. And thank you again, Sharon and Rick, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody next week.